Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to Ada Continues. 3 years old, has teeth now, and can crawl.
What happy birthday
sometimes
song are you
walk.
doing?
I've never heard this one before.
Happy birthday.
You should.
Welcome to Ada Continues, episode 148. A weekly podcast goes up every Monday in which we talk about video games and related topics. I'm your host, Staffa.
And Staffa turned 3 today.
Ada Continues, celebrating 3 years. 3 amazing years of Ada Continues. And with me today, to celebrate these 3 years, we got my brother, Ali.
What's up?
We got Kevin.
What's up?
And we got the great Khalid.
What's up?
Hello.
Hey, there we are.
Hayden.
Hayden.
Oh, no.
Drinking moonshine. So, anyways, Ada Continues. Did I mention that we're a weekly podcast? Yeah, we're a weekly podcast. Video games related topics. Post
Yes.
up every Monday
Yes, you
on
said all that.
adacontinues.com as an MP3. And goes up a little earlier on youtube.com/adacontinues as a video. So, whatever works better for you. If you'd rather watch the video, if you'd rather, download the MP3, subscribe to what you need. We got it for you. Real quick, I want to apologize for last week. We were unable to record a podcast last week. Things came up, so couldn't get things going last minute, and so I had a backup podcast. I'm sorry to all of you who listened to that backup podcast because James farted, and you can hear it. So sorry for all of you out there who listened to last week's terrible podcast. Good thing it didn't have smell-o-vision. But hey,
Man.
I had to put up something, so fortunately I was able to have a backup podcast with me, just for emergencies, just like that. So I'm gonna have to get another backup podcast recorded soon.
Hopefully one without a fart, right?
Yep, man. That was,
If
and
you
that-
do need one, you can just make some with your eye socket.
that was also back when I recorded at school too, and that really small room.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He couldn't even get up, walk out the door, come back in. No, he had to do it inside the small room. And he's
With like no ventilation. That room
Yeah.
has no ventilation
and
at
he's
all.
like, but I thought it was gonna be silent. It's like, dude,
Those are
doesn't
usually the
matter.
worst.
It doesn't matter if it's silent.
Usually the worst.
It stinks. It's a tiny room, man. 3 men in a tiny room. You don't want to fart. So, anyways, sorry about all that. Today's, it's good. Today's podcast, this week's podcast is a happy one, celebratory one. 3 years, 3 years of
Yay.
podcasting. September 16th is when we started. And Ali, you were there in the beginning with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, you were. I appreciate it. So, anyways, this week's episode segments will include what have we been playing. We're going to have some quick announcements. After that, our main topic this week is favorite games, because we want to have something happy, something positive. This is a good week, Don't do that with your eyebrows. Anyways, we want to have some positive discussion. So, gonna talk about some favorite games, and we got the listeners to help us out with this discussion. They gave us categories to talk about which favorite games to talk about. Unfortunately, I was not able to mention that in last week's podcast because we were unable to record a podcast. But Adam reached out to the listeners on Facebook and Twitter, and I tried getting Reddit in, and Reddit didn't reply. One person favorited one of Adam's tweets, Didn't reply. Just
Just
favorited
favored
the
it.
tweet. It's like, okay, thank you, buddy. Thanks for the favorite.
Moral
So
support.
yeah. After that, we have some news. Not much. It seemed like a very slow week as far as news.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So let's get going and talk about what have you been playing. Which one of you guys want to go
Video
first?
games.
You guys, which one? Ali, Kevin?
I think Ali can go first.
It's your home.
Fine.
It's your home.
Fine. Okay. Yeah, I played and beat Velocity 2X. It's a game made by Future Lab. They made Velocity and Velocity Ultra and Surge Ultra. All of their games have been on, like, I think they started on, their first games were on PSP, and then they started making games on Vita, and now their new stuff is on Vita, PS4, and PS3? Question mark?
No.
No, okay.
Velocity 2X is only on Vita and PS4.
Okay. Foe on that quad, yo.
PS
So-
quadruple.
So Velocity is a top-down shooter, spaceship shooter. It's also like an auto-scroller. Like I mean, that's kind of how shooters go, though. Like
Well,
you could,
I mean, pretty much all top down.
yeah, they all
shooters.
kind of all, yeah.
Yeah.
But this one's interesting because you could also control the speed. Well, you could toggle two speeds. There's fast and then there's normal speed.
Fast and really fast.
I was about to say.
Well,
It'd be
actually-
like super fast and ultra fast.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good game. They implement also like this game features like teleporting. There's what they call SFT, which is short form, or I think SFT or something, whatever. Short form
San
teleportations.
Francisco train
And then
station.
there's LFT, I think, long form transportation or teleportation, whatever. And so like the short form, like immediate, things you see on your screen, you could, if you hold down square, you could move a cursor around to select where you want to teleport to and teleport to that area because there might be walls in your way or something. Long form teleportation, you actually drop a teleport pod. So
Kind of
it's
like a checkpoint.
yeah, it's kind of like a checkpoint because you drop a pod down and then you go, like, let's say the level branches, in three different directions. You take the left path and you complete that area and like shoot some switches or something. And like, oh god, no, I could only go up. Oh wait, you like pull up your map and select that teleport pod that you dropped earlier, and then it teleports you back to it, and you like continue on with the level. So it's really interesting. Another cool thing about Velocity 2X is that, unlike the other Velocity games, this one has like a 2D like platformer shooter type aspect.
From what I've seen, that's how I describe platforming. 2D
Yeah.
platforming.
With shooting elements. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the rest of the game. It's all super fast paced, and you could like get these like teleporting type of stuff. But the teleporting is actually really neat because when you're on foot, like you could only teleport up, down, left, right, not like diagonally or whatever which way you want in the spaceship, and it only teleports you like several feet, like let's say 5 or 6 feet in front of you, or up or above you or below you. So they do that, but it also it seems limiting at first, but it's actually very it enhances the gameplay because you just, let's say you're sprinting down a hallway and then there's like a platform above you, but you can't jump through it. You have to teleport up to it. So you just hold square, like while you're sprinting, you hold square, push up, let go, and you teleport. Bam, like in less than half a second, you've got that maneuver done.
Yeah.
So, like they have a lot of like really cool, obstacles and the game's like point systems based on like how fast you complete it, how many of people you rescue, and how many like crystals you collect and whatever, and if you die or not. And it's a very easy game to play, but it's extremely hard to master.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I like that. So,
I like the character's design. I think she looks cool.
Yeah.
She looks like a mix between Samus and Captain Marvel.
so she kind of does.
Hmm.
I haven't gotten around to play it yet.
It's really cool because like the whole 2X thing kind of comes into play at the end. Like you eventually get.
I don't wear 2X. XL is fine enough for me. I'm hilarious.
You won't be here all night, by the way. Like you eventually get like you upgrade all your your stuff throughout the game. You get you get their teleporting technique. You get bigger guns. You get all sorts of other things. But like the last upgrade is this 2X upgrade, where these last few levels are made where like you've got two ships and you control them. Like, have you ever seen the guy play Ikaruga, like 2-player, like by himself?
Yes.
So it's not that complicated where you control both of them individually. It's like you control one and the other one mirrors. But like the level isn't exactly mirrored as well, so it's kind of mind-bending. It's really cool because I mean it's not like when you hit a wall you die, so you could kind of like, let's say there's a wall in front of one of them, but the other one isn't, doesn't have a wall in front of it, so like you'll teleport one of them to go past the wall, and like the other person will like kind of fall behind or something, so you kind of put them off skew, and it's really weird.
You don't say. It's pretty tight. It's gangsta. Alright, is that it?
Screw you, stop it.
What? What's wrong?
Ali is not pleased. Not at all.
It's free on PlayStation Plus.
For this whole month.
For this whole month.
Yeah.
PS4 and Vita version, so get it. It supports cross-save.
For all 5 of you Vita owners.
Yep.
It's for you.
It's just for you.
I'll check it out soon. I kind of want to finish Ultra before I check that out because it's not a long game, right? Ultra,
no, it's not.
Yeah, and I figure if I go straight to 2X, I might be like, I don't want to go back to Ultra. I'm an elitist. I like PC gaming.
I don't think Kevin talks like that though.
I don't.
So, anyways, Kevin, what you been playing?
I have been playing a game called Space Base DF9.
That sounds like a PC game, all right.
Discrimination.
Early access, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a game being developed by Double Fine, and it is indeed a PC game on Steam. It's early access, and it's a
Man, they had like several games come out this week, didn't they? Like they had
They
that,
have
and then that hack and slash,
and then they're working on what's it called? The
Broken
Age.
Broken Nails.
And then they're working on their own remake of Grim Fandango at the same time. So they've got a lot going on. But Space Base DF9 is a base building town management thing, except it's on a space station. You look very amused. So you start off with 3...
Your jaw's gonna get stuck before the end of this episode. You know that, right?
So you start off with 3 citizens, and you have to build like your foundation of your base. And occasionally you'll get other people come in, but you're not sure if they're going to be useful or not. Sometimes they might attack you. It's lots of random stuff that goes on.
That was rude. Why'd you do that?
It's about to twist it. That's why.
All the people listening to this, not watching the video, are gonna be so confused.
They can use their imagination on it.
But anyway,
Adding some enthusiasm.
Yeah,
This 3-year anniversary.
yeah.
Come on. Anyways, go back. Yeah, there's management.
Yeah, so it's a management game. There's things that random events that can happen. Like you'll have like asteroids or like things will come in and.
So is it sort of like SimCity?
In a way, but not really. I mean, yeah, you don't have like direct control of the citizens. You're just building the base. Actually, I would say it's more like Dwarf Fortress, but simplified and in space.
Well, SimCity, you don't have control over the citizens, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't actually. What the thing with SimCity is, it's like you kind of build like the zones, and then the buildings kind of construct themselves over time.
Uh-huh.
Whereas with Space Base, you're actually literally constructing the base, and
Okay.
you assign jobs to each of the citizens, and then they will do what they do.
So it does sound more like Dwarf
Yeah, it's
Fortress,
very
so-
much Dwarf Fortress.
with not ASCII.
Right, and it's all 3D. It's isometric. There's a lot of things that I am not currently very happy with. I know it's I think like they're Alpha 6 right now, but there's certain things I just don't like. Specifically, like placement of things, of objects. So like if you have a bed that you're going to put down in like in a residence area, there is and so everything's based on a grid, and there's a 1 square grid around it. So you can't like put the bed up against a wall. It's 1 space away from the wall because they can't. I don't know why they did that. I wish that just for like aesthetic reasons you could kind of put it against a wall, but you can't because every object has like the space that it takes up physically, but then 1 space around it.
Well, how are you supposed to check under the bed for the boogeyman if you're up against the wall?
Under the bed is not behind.
You gotta have a full 360 look around the bed.
Full 360 no scope pro scope.
Yep, no scope. You see the Xbox do a 360 and walk away.
Mm. Uh-huh. Well, there are certain things that can be put up against walls, like you can put like refrigerators and stoves for like the kitchen stuff, and shelves can be placed on the walls, but everything else is kind of is centered in the room, and it doesn't always make for the most aesthetically pleasing bases. And then you can only have two rotations, like so your camera's locked into one view, but everything can either be flipped one way or the other, and you can't do like you can't rotate it 360, you can only rotate it like 90 degrees in one direction or back. So there's only 2 directions you can pick from, which also kind of hinders the aesthetic thing, which I mean, it's still functional, but like when you're trying to create a hallway that's mirrored, you can't, because like if you have a hallway with rooms on each side, like one of the directions on one side of the beds will have the foot of the bed towards the door,
Yeah.
but the other side will have the head of the bed towards the door. So, I mean, again, it's still functional, it's just not aesthetically pleasing. And I mean, they're definitely going to be adding a lot more things. I mean, it's still early in alpha, and a lot of things just say like, this is placeholder for the description. So a lot of things don't even have their descriptions in completely. But it's getting closer with each update to where I want it to be, and it's definitely a good starting point. There just needs to be a lot of work still done to it.
Yeah.
Is this game funny?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's not a very serious game, so like when you get
Is there a chicken head person?
yes, you'll have like weird like races. Like one of them, they're all humanoid, but they're all based on animals. So you have like a humanoid chicken. You'll have humanoid. Like,
So they're furries.
At first, I thought you said they're weird racists. I was like,
that kind of works.
Hold on a second.
But yeah, it's a good start. Just has still a long way to go before it's I think ready for full release.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
How about you, Staffa? What have you been playing?
I started playing this game that just came out this week called Minimum. It is made by the team formerly known as Timegate. I'm not sure what they are known as now, but they made Section 8 and Section 8 Prejudice,
Yeah.
which was a multiplayer. Well, the first one, Section 8, was a multiplayer only game. Then they added single player in the second one. But basically, the whole premise of that game is like your character is. It's a Battlefield type game where it's large scale maps with vehicles, but your character is kind of a vehicle himself or herself, whatever. Because like when you start running, after a few seconds, you go into like this,
Freight train mode.
yeah, this freight train mode where you just start charging really fast.
And your
and-
turn radius, like
Yeah, you can't.
it's like the
turn
turn
very well.
radius of the moon. It's like the radius of the moon. That's how easily you could turn.
And like you spawn anywhere because you pretty much spawn from like a drop ship from like orbit, and you choose an area on the map, and then you just like pretty much do a halo dive into where you want to spawn. But if like an area is taken over by the other team, then they can have like anti-air cannons that can shoot you down as you're coming down, etc. But that's their first game. This game, Minimum. Stop me if you heard this one before. You are a dude with a gun. All right.
Hold up.
There
You should have stopped that dude.
there are AI controlled guys.
Stop.
And there are Titans.
Really stop.
Oh, hold up.
I thought that game already came out and it flopped.
Oh man, I want Titanfall to be good. Why aren't people playing it?
Because it's not good.
But anyways, so
You're the
this
one
game
person.
Minimum. The reason why I haven't played Titanfall in like forever. But anyways, in Minimum, like the reason why it's called Minimum is because I guess because of the graphic style. It's like all blocks. It's a very
So
minimalistic.
Titanfall with Minecraft graphics.
It's Titancraft.
Titancraft.
Well, like, let's rewind for a bit. It's not like Titanfall at all.
Okay.
In fact, I'm pretty sure this game was announced before Titanfall was announced, because I remember this game being announced quite a while ago.
So EA took that idea and ran with
No,
it.
it's actually really different from Titanfall. Basically, let's think more in terms of a MOBA rather than a deathmatch scenario. So there's three modes. There's deathmatch, which I haven't played yet. There's like a co-op versus AI, which I haven't played yet either. And then there's the Titan mode, which is like the flagship mode of the game. So basically, in Titan mode, you have each team has one Titan. It's an AI-controlled big dude. Okay.
That's very specific.
They will pretty much walk on this fixed track and meet in the center of the map, and they will fight each other. And in the beginning of the match, they're both on equal grounds. So they basically just both meet in the center, fighting each other, and you help your Titan by shooting the other Titan. Try to help.
So this
take
is
out the,
sort of like Monday Night Combat.
Kind of. It is kind of. So the objective is to take out the other Titan. Okay? Once a Titan is taken out, the Titan that's still standing will continue walking and go towards the enemy base. And the enemy base has two walls. He'll get to the first wall. The wall like pretty much comes down in front of the Titan. Like when the Titan's not there, the wall's not there. So once the Titan gets to the area for the wall, this big like gate comes down in front of them, and like there's some turrets shooting at the Titan. And the Titan tries to you try to help the Titan take down that wall, and basically you're trying to get past those two walls, break down those two walls, and get the Titan to the core. Once the Titan just walks up to the core, like it doesn't even need to like smash it or anything. Like as soon as it gets up to it, you win.
So it's
Oh.
almost like in not really an inverted MOBA, but where you play as the minions, and then the Titans are
Kind
the
of.
champions.
So once both Titans die, okay. So I mean, like after the first Titan dies, the other Titan has like low health, obviously because he had to fight the other Titan.
Yeah.
So once both Titans die, the creeps come out. Creeps are neutral. They are on neither team. Okay? And now the goal of the player is to kill as many creeps as possible because they will drop these crystals and shards and stuff that you have to pick up, and there's like a number on the top of the screen.
Oh, to regain a Titan?
No, it's not to regain the Titan, it's to power up your Titan. So
Wow.
basically, like, you want to get more than your other team, so that way your Titan's going to be more powerful than the other team's Titan.
I thought you said after the Titan dies, though.
Yeah, after the Titans die, because
It's recharging it then?
no, you have like 90 seconds or something like that, like a minute and a half
Oh, okay.
of this creep wave.
Okay.
So
and then,
after this creep wave is over,
so
then both Titans are back,
okay.
and then they pretty much start all over.
Hmm.
And
So they start at the same time. The only difference is if you leveled up your Titan,
yeah,
it'll be stronger.
so
than
like
one.
let's say you killed like 30 creeps, and the other team killed like 8 creeps. Your Titan's gonna be way more powerful than the other Titan.
Hmm.
It'll like easily just smash through, the other Titan. But if they're equal, like let's say both teams got like 20 or something like that, then you're more on equal grounds.
I see.
Okay.
So, other aspects of the game, there's weapon leveling up and armor leveling up. Weapons they level up like 5 times. Sorry, they level up 4 times. They have like 5 different stages, and they level up by killing other players and picking up like this glowy packet that falls out of their dead body, and that will upgrade your weapon. But as soon as you die, you lose that all your upgrades, your weapon upgrades. So you want to stay alive as long as possible, just like have these awesome weapons, because the more your weapon levels up, the more your weapons can do.
Yeah.
You also have armor upgrades, and armor upgrades are from picking up like these crystals that drop out of either creeps or other players or whatever.
Yeah.
And basically, you use those crystals to purchase armor upgrades that can do different things. Like it might give you, plus 10% Titan damage, or it will make you have plus 15% health but negative 10% speed. Stuff like that. Like there's
Yeah.
different types of armors that give you different things. So the armor, unlike the weapons, armor does not go away when you die. So, you progress, you continuously progress with armor, but weapons, it's like you want to stay alive to keep your weapons.
I see.
And so far it's pretty cool. I've been having some fun with it. Matches don't seem to be too long. Like I've had like 10-minute long matches. Didn't take me too long to get into a queue. Like longest was like 2 minutes to get into a queue, but like once you get into a game, like the next games pretty much start right up after.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to like wait in queue again after each match.
Looks fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool so far. They just came out of early access, so the game is gone gold. And but there are some few things that looks like have not been added into the game yet, like I mentioned the armor upgrades. Well, they call it crafting, armor crafting. There's other types of crafting that it's there in the menus, but it's like a placeholder, like it's not
I see.
implemented yet. So I mean, it's been fun so far. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
It looks fun. Yeah, I'm watching some video and it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to View Service. I think his name is Luke. He gave me the game. He was like, yeah, you should check this game out. I was like, I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm interested, but I'm jobless, so I can't just buy games left and right. He was like, you know what? Here you go. Sent me the game. So thanks, View Service. I appreciate it.
Cool.
So let's move on.
All right.
Talk about some quick announcements. First and foremost, 3-year anniversary.
Yay!
Yeah. 3 years, as I mentioned. September 16th is when this all started, and
This nightmare began.
yeah, this nightmare began. It was a nightmare when it began.
Sunset with the brightest bravado.
Going down the street with a guy named Peter.
What?
Never mind. He's a moron anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, 3-year anniversary. If you want to send in your feedback and talk about your favorite How to Continue moments, because we all have them.
Mine was mine. Never mind. I don't want to spoil it for the people who aren't watching. Mine was when I did something to stop her earlier.
Take that how you will, listeners.
Mine was when I slapped you.
You didn't slap me.
That's what you think. Not yet.
The listeners don't know that.
Anyways, also iTunes. We could definitely use more iTunes reviews. If you want to help out the podcast, leave an iTunes review. A podcast that has any iTunes reviews, like any positive or negative reviews, they get more exposure than podcasts that don't get reviews at all. So if you're able to leave an iTunes review, I'd really appreciate it. If you are unable to leave an iTunes review, if you still want to help out the podcast, share the podcast on either Facebook or Twitter to really help out the podcast. It just makes the experience more fun when you have more incentive to do this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Another quick announcement. I got my Portal 2 level Glass Walls. It's available on the Steam Workshop right now, if you want to try that out. And probably by the time this goes up on outofcontinues.com as an MP3, I should have my new Portal 2 level, which is called Fox, Goose, and Beans, or Bag of Beans. Yeah, Fox, Goose, and Bag of Beans.
You can't release it until I test it, though. So I'll most certainly break it.
You have, what, like 2 days? Come on now.
I got this.
Yeah, do it. I'm just saying, by the time this podcast goes up on atkinson.com, it'll be Monday. So it should be ready by then. So,
Unless it's broken.
No, it
by
won't.
me.
No, I feel confident. I mean, you played through it, Kevin.
Yep.
And I mentioned to you the change I implemented,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you think it's pretty solid, right?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. It definitely was a little bit longer and a little bit more challenging than the previous one, I think.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And that was definitely my goal this
Yeah.
time, to make something a bit more, just bigger, badder,
Yeah.
and uglier. So, I think it is about ready, but I'd still, I'm just going to get a few more playtesters to go through it, make sure that, the player can't. Well, I don't think the player can cheat through it. It's a little too complex to cheat through it. But at this point, I'm mainly looking for. I don't want the player to get stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the main thing I'm looking for right now. So, just want to fix it up. Link will be in the show notes if it is available. It should be, though. It should be by Monday. Yeah. So, Other than that, I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I'm in talks with a friend in starting a superhero podcast. We're gonna start that in October. When is it October? Yeah, it's in October. When the Flash and Arrow TV series both start. And I talked to another friend, and we're gonna do a Legend of Korra season 4 podcast because season 4 starts next month. It's crazy. Thought it was gonna come next year, but it's starting next month, and we're gonna do it. I think it's gonna be around 13 weeks, and that's it. So I don't know. I think I'll just have like a subdomain to Out Continues, which is like TV podcasts, and just put them all in there. So that's it for announcements. Let's get rolling and talk about some of our favorite games. Boom.
As you can tell, Staffa is really excited.
Yeah. So we reached out to our listeners and supporters on Facebook and Twitter, and the first person to suggest was Samantha, who has been on the podcast before. About a month ago or so, and she suggested 2 times. She suggested horror. So what is our favorite horror games? How are we gonna do this? We want to like go around in a circle or?
Yeah, just go in a line.
Yeah, let's go in the line.
Left to right.
Ali's still getting his stuff out.
So
you want to go?
Well, yeah, I'll go.
Or-
I'll go. I didn't play this, but watching it was, I thought, a great experience. Usually, to be quite frank,
Oh, you gonna
I'm
say
quite
PT?
Yes, I'm going to say PT. I'm typically
Silent Hills.
It's not. Silent Hills is different. Silent Hills is not out yet. I'm typically a scaredy pants when it comes to horror games, because like when it comes to horror movies, those are just jump scares and it's just like, this is dumb. But when it comes to games and you have to do everything yourself, it's that's next level. That's
It's my list.
Oh, so it's actually supposed to be yellow?
Yeah, because it's called Google Keep. We can talk about this later, but you
Yeah.
know it has a different.
I've
color.
got Google Keep on my phone. Yep, everyone's gotta have Google Keep.
I got Evernote.
Google Keep is easier because it syncs up with Google everything. Anyway.
Evernote syncs up with Evernote.
If you don't want to accept PT as an answer because technically I didn't play it, I'll go with Fear.
Oh my God!
Did I take yours?
Look right there, Fear.
Well, I don't have your notes in front of me.
Anyways, yeah.
I'm sure we'll have a lot
Because
of overlapping answers.
I played Amnesia and
I want to make it sound like I'm copying off your answer.
Okay.
I'm just
okay.
showing you right there.
Okay.
I did not type it.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to say Amnesia because like that game was just like too unsettling for me. I got to the Brazen Bull and I was like, no, I'm just not even gonna deal with this anymore. But yeah, Fear was, this was in my heyday of like having the best PC I could have at the time and running really cool games. And the game's online was really awesome too. But just that game was amazingly fun, and it still messed with your head, even though it was mostly action oriented.
Yeah, I'm not really into horror games, but so I was thinking, okay, what are the few horror games I played, and which one would I want to label as my favorite? And I was like, okay, I guess Fear is a horror game, and it was probably one of the first games that changed the genre from survival horror to just horror, because it definitely was not survival horror, and like every horror game was called survival horror, like back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Until this point, they start just calling, they call this like an action horror because it's an action game. You feel powerful. You don't feel like you're vulnerable and like in danger.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. It had some really crazy effects that just flashing stuff in your face, or you're walking down a hallway and it like all of a sudden transforms into like this pool of blood, and everything's on fire all of a sudden, and it was cool. I liked it. Fear.
Yeah. For me, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't really play many horror games because I'm also a bit of a scaredy pants. But I will say that Amnesia: The Dark Descent was one of my favorites. I'm a huge Lovecraft fan, and just that style of horror. And
So it wasn't Call of Cthulhu?
I don't.
You didn't even play that.
I haven't played that one. I know they're remaking it, but
Your face is remaking it.
it's not. But yeah, Amnesia was one of my. It's probably my favorite horror game out of the few that I have played.
Okay, Samantha. Hope you're happy. Horror. We talked about it. Okay, what's your favorite horror game? Your second one.
My second one.
Mine is Fear.
Okay.
He's very territorial about that.
Okay. Okay. I'll do Resident Evil Outbreak.
Look at me.
Bioshock is his.
No, I don't have a second on.
Okay.
I don't have like any.
I
for
actually
this.
really loved Resident Evil Outbreak because it stuck with it played like the original Resident Evils, but it had like online elements, and like there was no like when you go into your menu, it was not paused. Like in order to pause the game when you're playing
I remember watching play that.
Yeah.
You seem like you had a lot of it.
Yeah, it was terrifying because you're like, oh, I'm gonna go through these doors. You can't get me now, zombies. Nope, bang, bang, bang. They just bust down the door. Oh, hi, zombies.
Let's move on. Calvin, he submitted a few suggestions. His first one was JRPG. I don't know, like my list of JRPGs is not too big, like especially post high school. I stopped playing JRPGs, and like even though I have Persona 4,
Me too.
I haven't gotten around to playing it yet.
I haven't played many.
So mine is gonna be Chrono Trigger.
Oh yeah,
Because
I forgot about that.
I played through that, and it was really awesome.
I think I beat it 3 times.
It was definitely ahead of its time. Yeah, I mean, like there's a reason.
There is a
to
reason to play it 3 times.
because
Yeah.
you get different endings. You have a different experience. It did what Fable wanted to do before Fable, and it did it better. Well, I guess not exactly.
It did Final Fantasy better than Final Fantasy.
I mean, it wasn't exactly the good and evil choices, but it had it was a game that had multiple choices and different results as to what choice you did. So
Man, when I went to jail for taking that pie.
Man, you go to jail no matter what.
But but the thing is,
even if you like prove yourself innocent, like you do all the right choices, you still end up in jail.
Yeah. But I don't know. So you went first then.
Sure.
So. Kevin.
Whatever, I don't care.
My JRPG list is non-existent because I cannot stick to any of them. I don't know why.
You
So you have
elitist.
no answer.
Elitist.
I don't know. I've tried playing them. I just can't
His
stick with
favorite
them.
JRPG is Bioshock.
Well, I've heard. I have a friend who also doesn't really play many JRPGs, but he says that he likes Xenoblade Chronicles.
Mhm.
So I'm going to give that a try at
Is that
some
Kevin?
point. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give that a try at some point, but yeah, my JRPG list is non-existent because I can't stick to them.
Ali.
My JRPG. I mean, a lot of people actually don't like this game for some reason. It's not their favorite. I'm kind of torn between Final Fantasy VIII, which
Sucked.
see, like everyone's just quick to say it sucked. Like I just feel
I
like
didn't
it
even
was
like it as a kid.
I thought it was good.
I was like,
In my response to your response, I'm gonna do in the famous words of Squall, whatever.
Squall was emo before emo was a thing. He's like
Cloud was emo.
no Squall.
No,
was
Cloud
emo.
was emo as well.
Squall was like
Anyway.
he created emo.
Anyway, I was gonna say Final Fantasy VIII or
Sweet
Dot
love.
Hack, the Dot Hack series.
Hmm.
Because I played Dot Hack and that was really fun. Like all the procedurally generated dungeons and just like you just like constantly just level up and like when a new one would come out, you just take your save file and you're like, dude is like level 300 something. Oh, you know what? You can level up more with this one. So you'd have like a level 300 something, just like transfer your save file from the old one to the new one. And this is really cool. I don't know.
No Nino Kuni?
No, I didn't beat that game yet.
Oh, okay. Alright. Let's move on to Calvin's second suggestion, which is game that we don't want to be remade. For me, I was thinking about this and it's hard to like decide on a game that you don't want to be remade because if you like it so much, of course you want it to come out again like bigger and better.
I know what you're gonna
But-
say.
What?
No, you keep going. You
Okay,
keep
so
going.
I was thinking either the game, for my selection on this category, either the game has to be so old that if it gets remade, it wouldn't retain, what it made it so well, or it has to be so new that it's like there's no point in remaking it because it just came out. So I kind of have two selections on this. One of them is The Last of Us because like it just came out last year. There's no point in remaking it, and the remastering is not a remake. That's just
it's just HD.
It's a port.
HD.
It's a port. So that's one of my selections. The other one is Pitfall 2.
Oh, okay. What? I guess that makes sense.
If they remade Pitfall 2, it would not be the same game. I mean, like, think about it.
Well, because Activision would have like
It
tie-ins to Destiny and Call of Duty. That's why.
It would not be the same game. Like like I said, it would have to be so old that if the game was remade, it would not retain anything that made it so good. So what did you think I was going to say?
Well, you said a game that you liked or whatever that you really liked. I thought you were going to say Tribes.
No, I want that remade.
I want that remade, but I don't want High Res to ever touch it again.
I want Tribes to be remade.
I want to remake Tribes. That's what I want to do.
I want Tribes 2 too.
Yeah. Anyway,
I want Unreal Championship 2.
no
too.
remake. Final Fantasy VII. I don't care what anyone says. That train has long like if there was a time to make it, it would have been the beginning of last generation. Square Enix did not do it. That train is gone. It's that
The train was in the demo for the
uh,
Final Fantasy 7 demo that they made. That got everyone so excited.
that baby was left at the dumpster. There's no chance for it to come
Oh,
back.
come on now. This is a family-friendly show. That's disgusting. This guy's... I don't even know who this person is.
In the beginning, you just
apologize.
said, my brother.
Guilty.
In fact, where am I? What's going on? Kevin.
For my pick, it's kind of in line to what you said, Safa. Basically, I don't want anything to be remade that is from the previous generation relative to when it would be released. Because at that point, they're just remaking it for the money.
Yeah.
They're just spending money to make money, and it's pointless at that point. And they're not adding any value because, I mean, the point of remaking games is so that classic, well-known games, or even games that are not well-known, but games that should be played that people didn't have a chance to play,
Can play it
can
again
play
now.
it in modern engines, make it look better, make it run smoother, and that's the point of remaking games.
Or
And-
like update the gameplay so
Exactly.
that it is more accessible.
Right, exactly that. Like even right now, I would say that like, as much as I'm hoping that like the Halo Master Chief Collection comes to PC, I know it won't, but I still think it's not the right time for it because finish the rest of the games first and then release it all as a collection, rather than because they've already done, Halo.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I
Yeah.
think that makes sense.
But then, how would they sell someone a Halo product when Halo 5's not done?
Spartan Assault.
Alright, let's
I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about good games.
let's move on to Calvin's final suggestion. Games that we are too lazy to finish. And again, I have two answers. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and the new Wolfenstein New Order. I need to get back to both of those games. I mean, there was no reason for me not to finish them. They're both awesome. But I'm a doofball and spent too much time with Magic 2015 and 2014. So, yeah. Those are my answers. Kevin, what's yours?
Top of my list is Watch Dogs. It's not the game that anyone probably expected it to be. It was, in my opinion,
It's not the game that we deserve. It's the game that we need.
not even the game we needed. No. I wouldn't even go that far. It was, in my opinion, a disappointment in almost every respect. There was a little mini game. It was like a tower defense, Alien Invaders type of augmented reality game that's inside the game.
Okay.
So I have a total of 11 hours logged according to Steam on Watch Dogs. I can guarantee you that 8 of those hours are just with that augmented reality mini game, and not with the actual game, the main story itself. I can guarantee that, because if they released that mini game as its own game, I would totally buy it and play that all the time. But because it's so much better than the main game.
Ali.
What were we talking about? Lazy?
Too lazy to finish.
Metro Last Light. I started the game. I think I started on hard, and I was doing a no-kill run so I could get the quote-unquote good ending. And then I got to
That's not gonna get you the good ending.
And then I got to
it's impossible to get you the good ending.
Well, you have to scour through.
You have to walk on water to get the good ending. It's not gonna get you the good ending.
I think. Well, the thing is, I haven't killed anyone, and I've been looking for all the quote unquote good events and stuff like that, and then I got to the swampland and then I was just like.
I don't want to
do this anymore.
Literally need a walkthrough next to you to tell you everything you need to do just to get the good ending. Because it's that hard. I looked at all the requirements to get the good ending. It's stupid.
Is it really?
It is stupid for both the Metros.
Well, the thing is, I got through there was the.
Just play the game and have fun with it, because it's a fun game.
Well, I was gonna say I got to this part in part of the Metro, but most of the game takes place in the Metro. Where there was this bad guy outpost, and there was this gate with skulls and stuff and torches and and there was there's there's a bunch of guys sleeping. You're doing it by yourself. There's a bunch of I got through that part. But most of the game glitched. I ended up knocking out a dude that was asleep. I went up to him and he sat up. He was like, huh, and punched him, and then he got knocked out. But I spent the next 45 minutes wondering who was snoring, and then I came back around to this guy and knocked out, and he's just just oh man.
Just play the game. Just
I can't.
All right, so our next category was suggested by Mark, and he said games that we actually played in a real arcade.
Yeah.
And for me, I know I already mentioned I got 2 answers for this category, and yeah, again I got 2 answers because it's just hard to come up with one answer. But I got Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Really liked it, both on arcades and consoles, and was actually able to beat it in arcades, unlike Mortal Kombat, which is impossible to beat in arcades.
Impossible.
And Time Crisis 2, because it was like the
Oh,
best
yeah.
light gun shooter.
That was I
It was-
remember.
it was better than Time Crisis 3 and Time Crisis 4.
Yes, I remember when I first played Time Crisis 2, and like you have the gun cocking back, and every time you shoot, I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was actually I really loved Virtual On. I thought that was a really fun game. You know, the whole mecha,
Oh yeah, that was an awesome game.
and you have like the joysticks, and you're just like,
God.
yeah, I'm in a mecha.
I'm gonna add that as my third answer. That game was sweet. Kevin.
My game's a little bit more simpler than that. Space Invaders and Pac-Man.
Dude, no, those are like.
What did you do? Go to a Pizza Hut?
No, he went to like.
That's not an arcade.
He went to a laundromat. That's where he went to.
Went to the bowling alley and played the Fast and Furious game.
Hey man, no hate. No hate. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
games are garbage.
Next,
No! Silent Scope.
Nah, it was
No
okay.
man, that game was legit.
No, it was okay.
I'm like Sniper Wolf over here.
That game was not as good as Time Crisis. Time
Yeah.
Crisis is much more fun. Now, if you want to talk about fun, Sega Real Bass Fishing. That game was.
I've never played the arcade version.
Arcade version was sweet.
Oh wait, no, I lied
You got
because
the reel and
I-
you're pulling on it. It's
I lied because
Like,
I remember one dude. We were at it was Circle Center Mall, GameWorks. It's GameWorks, right?
Yeah.
And this dude had his card like filled up with like $50, and he just kept on putting in his card like into the Sega Bass Fishing game like 15 times because he just kept on playing it. And then when he was finally done, there was like $8 still on there, and I was like, "Yeah, buddy."
That game's sweet. Anyways, next suggestion. The next 80 suggestions are by. You know what? Let's skip
The next
Haley.
80.
Let's skip her and we'll come back to her.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
do Morgan real quick.
Okay.
Morgan, who submitted a suggestion like very last second, like he submitted it like right before.
I didn't see this one.
He
me
submitted
neither.
like 5:30. So he says guilty pleasure. I think my favorite guilty pleasure is the Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalker games, because I'm a terrible person. I shouldn't be playing those. It's a terrible game. It crashes. It freezes. It doesn't have all the functions it's supposed to have. It's retarded, and I play it all the time.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's my guilty pleasure.
I don't know. I had to think about this.
I think I'll go with Gran Turismo.
Okay. Which
I mean,
one? All of them?
well,
Just
the more
series as a whole?
recent ones like 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very popular franchise,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of really great things about them, but they are so behind in several aspects. And I don't know if they just had a lot of trouble. I mean, they did say they had a lot of trouble getting, up to speed on the PS3, and they've like memory constraints and this and that. But there are like a lot of other things that aren't technical aspects that are just really, outdated in terms of game design. And you look at games like Forza and other stuff that do it so much better. And I mean, I absolutely love the Gran Turismo series, but like it's like, you look at it compared to other things, and it's just like, come on, Polyphony, what are you doing? Why am I still playing this? Yeah. So, I think that's my guilty pleasure.
Kevin.
I don't know. This
It's
is
Skyrim.
No, I haven't put many hours in Skyrim.
You don't have one?
I don't think I have.
Not-
It would
not that
have
you
to be
can
something
think
I
of
have to
right
think
now?
of. Yeah, nothing that I can think of immediately. If I think of something, I'll add it in later.
All right, let's go to Kaylee's 9001 suggestion.
I don't have
9,000.
answers for some of these.
Okay, we're gonna skip some of these. We're not gonna do all of them. the first one she suggested is favorite remastered / re-released game.
I don't have one.
I don't have one
I
either.
don't
I
know.
actually wrote none on mine. I could not think of a favorite one.
Well, actually, I have one for this. The God of War collection that was released on PS3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was a fan of the God of War games back when they were on PS2, and I know I mentioned earlier a previous generation, but
Well,
I
PS2, but PS3 was a huge jump.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it wasn't like just like a year thing. It was like
yeah.
almost a whole decade worth of time, and it
Yeah.
was like both games on one collection, together. And I think they did a fantastic job with putting those together and re-releasing them in higher resolution. They actually look a lot better than the originals.
You'd be surprised what resolution does to image quality.
Yeah. And I have a secondary. It's the Ico and Shadow of Colossus HD collection.
I really like those too, but my problem was they still had like frame rate issues, and
The frame rate wasn't as bad as the PS2 version.
well, no, of course it was.
Colossus,
The PS2 version was technically like
a beta.
no, I mean like they were pushing effects the PS2 were never made to make, or to achieve, and so I mean what they did with that technically was really amazing, but still it did go down to like 10, like sub 10 FPS, which was rough. But like the PS3 version was, I mean, it wasn't even full 60.
I just thought of one answer for me.
What?
Chronicles of Riddick, because when Assault on Dark Athena came out, that also was bundled with Escape from Butcher Bay, and that version was like it was a.
That was just upres though, wasn't it?
It was it was it was HD, and so it was kind of a re-release, and also it had levels from the director's cut edition,
okay.
which was only on PC.
Okay.
So it took one of my favorite games and made it better, except for one aspect. It took away the zooming with the guns. Like
did they?
You couldn't zoom as far.
Oh, okay.
Like you could
because like in the pistol, you could snipe with the pistol.
and then you couldn't do that in the re-released version.
Riddick was an eagle eye, wasn't it? In the original.
So let's move on to the next one. Game you love but hate. I guess that's like the same thing as a guilty pleasure in a way.
Maybe I have an answer for this one, but for me it's Dwarf Fortress because I really love the complexity of the game. I love the depth, but I hate that it's
ASCII art.
Well,
because you're a graphics whore. You
Well, no.
I wish that instead
your
of
1440p monitor playing Dwarf Fortress.
I mean, something a little bit more modern would have been awesome, especially since the game. I mean, if someone starts it up, they'd think that it's an old game, but it's not that old. It's only like.
The thing is, it's
not even 6 or 7 years old.
It's extremely CPU intensive, though. That's the thing.
Right.
Like I mean, I've seen like when people boot up Dwarf Fortress and they have like their task manager up and their processors, just goes.
Yeah.
CPU usage goes from like 10% to like 95.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, it's okay in the beginning when you have fewer dwarves, fewer things going on. But once your fortress expands and you got like a huge civilization going,
you have to keep in mind that like CPUs are in charge of draw calls, and if they are fully utilized, I mean, of course, I don't think they don't have. I'm not sure how well utilized Dwarf Fortress is on multi-cores, but
I don't think it's optimized very well for multi-core, multi-threaded processing. At least not to my understanding.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
So I mean, if you don't have like a CPU capable of doing draw calls, you can't really have graphics going.
Yeah,
for it.
and see, that's the thing is I love games that are complex and that have that kind of depth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because of that, every dwarf is being calculated, every single thing that's going on, and like it's calculating things that are happening that are not even at your own fortress.
Yeah, that
it's calculating things that are happening, on the other side of the world, other events that are happening at the same time. So it's too much, but at the same time, I love that.
Yeah.
But it's just too much to handle all at once.
Ali.
I don't know. I was thinking about it.
You want me to come back to you?
Well, I want to say Tribes Ascend. I loved playing it because
No,
it
you
was a
didn't.
Tribes game, but I hated it because
Because
it wasn't a Tribes game.
game.
Exactly. And I mean, it wasn't like I didn't put it in the guilty pleasure because it wasn't really.
It wasn't a pleasure.
It wasn't a pleasure.
It was a guilty.
Yeah. But I feel like this fits here.
Okay.
So.
For me, I mean, other than saying Magic 2015 again, Super Monday Night Combat, because I really, really liked the game. It was really fun. I mean, it was, a match between a MOBA and a third-person shooter, but the game had balance issues. Like the development team made so many mistakes, like releasing the game too early, releasing the game without a proper tutorial, which pretty much killed their potential community that they could have built. Then they eventually abandoned the game to work on Planetary Annihilation. So this is definitely a game that I love but also hated at the same time. The next two categories, I think let's skip those because
Yeah, I don't have.
we already talked to each other beforehand. We don't have answers.
I have
for
something
these.
for the indie games, but
No!
not for AAA. But we can skip it.
No.
I've only played one indie game this year, and I already talked about it today.
Okay, sequel game of favorite sequel game of all.
This is way
time.
too hard. And what does she mean exactly by sequel? Like, does she mean like just the second, of a series, or just a sequel in any series?
Sequel in any series.
Because that's just really too
Yeah,
hard.
this is kind of broad. I put down Uncharted 2.
Uncharted 2 is great.
Because the reason why I put down Uncharted 2 and not like another sequel to a different game, because Uncharted 1 was, to me, an okay game.
Yes.
Like, it was not bad. It wasn't really good either. It was an okay game. And then
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good. I just didn't think it was great.
No, well, it definitely was not great.
But it was, I thought it was a good game.
It was average.
Like
I thought it was above
I walked
average.
away from that game and I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was- but Uncharted 2,
that did take things to the next level.
that put hair on my chest.
Was it just because you got so angry at it?
I mean, it changed the way developers came about making games.
Yeah, I mean, like, for quite a while in the 2000s, games were you play a level, and then you have a cutscene. You play a level, cutscene. And that was pretty much the formula for most like action games that had a story.
And there was loading screens and stuff
Yeah.
too. And Uncharted 2 had none of that.
Uncharted 2 was like it mixed the cinematic action and the story and all that with the gameplay.
And I found that game very difficult to
think
put
it's-
down because what?
I think Assassin's Creed did that too. At least the first one. That was before Uncharted, if I remember correctly. I know Assassin's because like the first Assassin's Creed, there were no cutscenes per se. It was like everything happened with your character, like in game. Like it was all. I mean, there were loading screens when you were going to a new city
Well,
or a new town, but there was
most of the story was like told while a guy is literally standing in front of you, and you can walk around the room
Yeah.
and listen to him.
That's true.
Or after you stab a person, and then like everything goes white, and then and then you just listen to the dying words.
Yeah, that's true.
That
It was
So-
one of my favorites.
Yeah, Uncharted 2 is a good answer. I just feel so torn because there's a lot of sequels that I love. I mean, like, I really love God of War 2 and 3, and like
War
those
2.
games like blew my mind. Like 3 was also amazing. Like throughout the whole game, it was just like a roller coaster ride of awesomeness and things dying. and but like also like Metal Gear Solid as well. When I played 2 for the first time, I was like, look at all this rain, and it was like 60 FPS, and like, oh my god, I could shoot this dude's like like his like walkie-talkie, and he'd like try to call for backup. I was like, oh my god. So I mean, there's a lot of games that really just they came from the first one being good or great, and then they went to the next one, and it was like they managed to make it better, and it's ridiculous,
I want to give a quick honorable mention since you mentioned Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 2.
Yes.
Give an honorable mention to that because Assassin's Creed 1, it was a good game. Like it was.
Technically, that wasn't a sequel though.
No, I'm saying Assassin's Creed 1 was alright, but Assassin's Creed 2 was almost like the Uncharted 2, where it was like
a complete overhaul.
Yeah. And I think they both came out the same year, Assassin's Creed 2 and Uncharted 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like they both came out the same year, and they're both awesome games. So honorable mention.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 is in my runner-ups, but I think if I had to pick my number 1 sequel of all time, it'd probably be Witcher 2. Well, I mean, CD Projekt Red is currently, if I had to pick one favorite developer of all time, it's CD Projekt Red, just because of their dedication to the fans, making sure that the game is actually the focus and not the profits. I mean, obviously they're worried about profits. That's all part of being a business, but they care. You can tell that they actually care about the game more than I guess just trying to release the game early for maximum profit as soon as possible. But like if you look at the changes between the first Witcher game and how it evolved into the second game, it was just a huge increase because with the first game, they were a indie company with an indie budget trying to make a AAA game, and that just didn't work out. But because it still was successful, and so they had.
I couldn't get into that first one. Like I played an hour of it. Like the graphics look good. Everything else I hated.
It's really buggy, but
I was like, how am I supposed to play this game? Like the gameplay was convoluted and hideous, and like the voice acting was like garbage.
Yeah, voice acting was not that great in
I was like,
the first one.
I can't do this.
The second one, it was huge improvement in every aspect, and they finally had the budget to meet their what they wanted to do with the game. Mm-hmm. And the story is fantastic, graphics are fantastic, gameplay is fantastic. There's very little that I dislike about The Witcher 2.
So Kevin, what is your favorite game that you love to tell others about?
Elite Dangerous. I like talking about it because it's a game that has a huge scale.
I don't believe you.
I know what you're thinking.
I think the real answer is BioShock.
It's not.
I think deep down inside your heart, that is the truth.
It may have been at one point, but as of right now, it's Elite Dangerous. Yeah, because I like.
Go next, Safa?
No, I was gonna have you go next.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, I have 3 games, and these are 3 games I bring up a lot when I talk to friends about just games that I love to play.
Okay.
And
first one being
Tribes 2.
Okay.
It all started with me watching you play, and then when I played it myself, I was like, this is amazing. Just like the physics in the like it wasn't point and click, like you had trajectory and all sorts of things, and it had like Newton's laws in place, and you had vehicles and
apples falling
and like
head.
And like yes, and like you had teamwork, and like like the bombing runs were so cool, and just
it was like playing Command and Conquer, but playing the individual
and like siege mode was just like always so fun. Like I always loved starting in the base, like at the very top, like 2 kilometers up, and just randomly in the clouds, and you jump down through the force fields, and you fall like the whole distance. And they like these people design these levels so people can't just jetpack their way up, but like you'd like go blazing fast, and then you're like, okay, I'm at this base. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And like, just playing. I mean, I try to find. There aren't that many, which it makes me sad. But I try to find as many like montage, videos of this game, because it just the amount of skill and precision and accuracy and the type of coordination that is involved with that game just blew me away. At it was like 2000. It was 2000, right?
2002.
2002. Okay,
What's your next game?
Next game, Red Orchestra.
Yeah, 3. Okay,
Red Orchestra. Just that. It's also about that like next level, of detail. Yeah, realism. You shoot your rifle. Oh, but you still have to bolt your gun. You have to pull the bolt back and do it again. And like the game had no reticle, like you just kind of aimed around the screen, but you could you have to aim down sight because that's what they did. They would aim down the sight, and you don't know how much ammo you have unless you'll fill the magazine. Like if you're if you got your SMG or something, you pull out the magazine. It's like it feels heavy. You pull it back in. It's full. You're close to full, and just like the attention to detail, like you could melt the barrels on your machine gun, and like I remember the first time I was like the MG class, and people were so mad because like ended up the MG42 like overheats really easily, so the barrel melted, and I was like, well, and they were like, where is our covering fire? And then someone was like, push so and so button to change the barrel, you noob, and I was like, okay.
Press Alt F4.
But I mean, it's just
the third game.
That game makes you feel awesome. Anyway, last one, Stalker, specifically A Shadow of Chernobyl. I played the newer ones and I just didn't get through them. I didn't get through the first couple hours because both of them were extremely buggy. But Shadow of Chernobyl, that was a game I played, and by the end of the game I felt different. I know some people, they might think of that what are you, you're weird, but I know other people, they've had that feeling where you beat a game and you were so immersed in this environment. And this is like a very small, it's the same devs, same base devs that made Metro.
Yep.
I mean, not all of them, but they just made such even with all the bugs, they made a great world with a lot to do and a lot to discover. And that game, I mean, technically it's not a horror game, but because it had me so I was
just completely drawn.
Yes, completely drawn into the game.
Yeah.
And when something sort of scary happened, it was oh man, I swear, I almost had a heart attack one day. I was going through, these sewers and coming down this hallway, and all these people know, the people that have played this game know, these mice run down the hallway, and you're like, that's not good.
Yep.
And you see this humanoid figure step out, you see his silhouette and his shadow just cast down the whole hallway, and I was like, I got you. And then he just starts to destroy my brain, and I'm like, oh my god, I seriously jumped out of my seat because it just was ridiculous. The whole game, so good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done because I'll just keep going.
I think one of my favorite that I like to tell others about is the Walking Dead games, mainly because I like to talk to other people and compare our choices. But as far as telling someone, hey, you should check this game out, I think Spec Ops: The Line is my choice as far as my favorite, because most people have not tried Spec Ops: The Line because they don't know what it is. So it's just, I really like to tell people all about it and explain to them it's more than just this Call of Duty, a third-person Call of Duty knockoff.
It's not even a good Call of Duty knockoff.
It's
within that type of gameplay.
Yeah, and you know.
But it's not about that.
Yeah, it's not about that. Well, I mean that's integral to the message that's sending though. You know that it's like, what's the word? Not parody, but it's a social commentary. Yeah, it's a social commentary on those type of games. So yeah, I mean like I like to talk about that game. The next category, because I don't want to take another 20 minutes talking about Spec Ops Online, unlike Ali.
I didn't talk about Spec Ops Online.
I'm talking about in general.
I know, I was joking.
Chomp. Anyways,
That's
so
the joke.
The next category that Kaylee suggested is favorite game you'd like to forget that you ever played.
I'll go quickly.
Sure.
The Last of Us.
Same here.
I want to experience it again.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Same answer. That's it.
was
guys-
that really your answer?
Yes. That's what it
I mean, I wanted to make a joke and say like Tribes Ascend because I really, really hate that game. But like, honestly, Last
You
of Us,
guys-
if I could play that game again, going in blind of the story,
the key thing here is favorite game we
Is
want
that
to
what-
forget about.
I don't think what she said favorite. It's just game you'd like to forget.
all,
you
all,
ever played.
all these are favorite. All these categories are favorite. So
well, it could be ironically favorite.
Like it's your favorite one to forget playing because you just hated it so much.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I took it, as because it didn't say favorite. It just said game you'd like.
Let's
to-
go with your perspective. What do you have, Kevin?
Dragon Age 2. I just thought that it was
That was not a good game.
well, as a game itself, it was good. It was a good action RPG, but just because it had the Dragon Age name to it and Dragon Age story, it just was nothing like the first game. It was just it was.
I'd like to forget about Prince of Persia: Warrior Within.
I remember you getting so mad playing that game. Like, man, this is stupid. It was.
Okay. Favorite male protagonist from the last 3 years. Do I even have any? I don't have an
know.
answer on here. Man, favorite male protagonist. What do you got?
I don't like guys. All jerks.
All jerks. I have two actually. Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher, and Booker from Bioshock Infinite.
I wanted to put Joel at first, but
Joel's a jerk.
I don't feel like he's truly a protagonist. That's why.
Spoilers.
Yeah, no, seriously. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
Was Ezio in a game the last 3 years?
That's you.
Yeah, I think so.
Last
3 years?
I don't. It might be pushing it though because I know they
One of
started
the-
doing.
one
What was the
Really
last
released
game
one
he
of
was in?
Brotherhood.
Revelations.
Revelations. When did that come out? Even though that was the bad one. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm gonna say Ezio. Ezio
He's a good character.
is an amazing character.
He's one of my favorites.
He is like men want to be him, women want to be with him.
Yeah.
There you go. Like he is. He's just a bro.
He's the.
he's a bro. I would totally hang out with Ezio.
I'd totally be his wingman.
That's my answer. That's the best I can think of.
Yeah, he's a good character.
Favorite female protagonist from the last 3 years.
I think we might have a
There
similar one. I'm not sure though.
are not that many
Okay,
choices.
what do you
which is-
got?
Clementine from Walking Dead and Elizabeth from Bioshock Infinite.
No, I don't have either of those.
Oh, okay. I thought you would have.
The
Clementine.
reason why I did not include Clementine in my choices is because I didn't want to have a choice that's basically either a blank slate or a character that you mold yourself. And Clementine falls under a character that you mold yourself. So I did not want to select her
I see.
for that reason. I didn't want to select like the Saints Row boss because that's kind of a combination of both.
Mhm.
Kind of a blank slate that you end up choosing to make yourself. So
Who do you
yeah.
have then?
I have two choices. One of them is Tali from Mass Effect.
Okay.
Because Tali was an awesome character. She was smart. She was a really cool character, and I liked her. Like, out of all the female characters, I think she was my favorite one.
She was a
In
good
Mass
character, yeah.
Effect.
Yeah.
The other choice, I really liked Jodie Holmes, who is Ellen Page's character from Beyond Two Souls. I mean, like, there are people who think the story was plenty of stupid. I liked the game, like mainly because I felt like the characters, well, especially Ellen Page's character, was really good, and so I choose her.
Hmm.
She did an excellent performance, and yeah.
I feel like I'm picking an easy. Actually, I don't want to say it because feel like it'll be a spoiler for some.
What game?
I feel like that'll spoil who it is.
Okay.
I'll
Choose someone
choose
else.
someone
then.
else. I don't know.
Like at this point, like you saying a spoiler, like it's like what Samus?
Samus is
God.
a girl.
Metroid's a girl. What if Zelda was a girl?
Well, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. In The Last of Us.
I knew it was gonna be Last of Us. Really.
Yeah. Ellie.
I don't see how that's a spoiler for anything because
I figured she was
she's
the
on the cover of
protagonist.
the box.
Well, I mean,
Well, don't go into details.
yeah, I'm not gonna go
yet.
into details. That's why, and there are other reasons as to why. It's
But I mean, just naming her off as your choice doesn't
Yeah.
really give any spoilers.
okay. I'll just leave it at
On the
that.
other hand, saying Joel, I don't know if he's a protagonist or not, that is a spoiler right there.
You said he was a jerk.
He is a jerk.
That's kind of how it is, though.
Well, okay, so.
That's like the same thing.
No, it's not. Kratos is a jerk.
But
He's a
Anyways.
godly jerk.
So, favorite game to play with others. Do I have an answer? I do have an answer for this. Team Fortress 2. Mainly because, I mean, like, it's not really my real life friends, but, like, I made a lot of internet friends through this
Yeah.
game.
it was a very good
Like,
game.
Joining the FUG community, FUG.
I have to clarify,
Yeah, fugworld.com. Just playing that game made a lot of internet friends, and a lot of those people I still talk with today, and play other games with them, even though I stopped playing Team Fortress 2. So yeah, that's my choice, Team Fortress 2. I'll lead.
I always keep thinking of like local multiplayer games like Split Screen or something like
Mario
that.
Party is his choice.
No, that's not. No, Mario Party is not. No, that's how you. That's how you lose friends. That's how murder scenes happen.
Halo LAN parties.
Those were
Actually,
fun.
those were really fun. But yeah, my first instinct is to always go with Mario Kart 64 or Blitz 2000 or something like that. But a lot of those games have just a lot of problems with them. But I mean, I guess Smash Bros. My friends and I, we could play it for a good couple of hours until we start getting mad at each other. So I think a couple hours is good.
Kevin.
I have two for this: Path of Exile and Borderlands 2. Games that I often play with people.
Yeah, I don't have many friends to play Borderlands 2 with. I've got a couple,
Mm.
but my character ended up outclassing them so bad. I was just helping them run through stuff.
Yeah.
Favorite handheld device of all time? For me, it was Nintendo DS.
I think
DS Lite, to be more specific. I had a lot of fun with that.
I didn't own one until the Vita, so I might be a little biased. But I did play a lot of the other handheld consoles. I I play Game Boy Color all the time, like Pokemon, that sort of thing. But I honestly think Vita's, if it had a better software, I mean, it's not saying it has bad software options, but if it had even better options, I think it'd be easily the best handheld, because it's extremely fast. The screen is great. The D-pad's easily the best I've ever used. It's got 2 analog sticks. I mean, it's just, I mean, very, very versatile.
Before we get to Kevin, my guess of what your answer is the Nexus 7.
It's this thing right here?
Yes.
No, that's actually not it.
It's actually the Galaxy 4.
The Game Boy Advance SP. I played a lot of Pokemon.
Game Boy Advance was really good.
Yeah,
That was
it
a
took
really
to
good
the point
console.
where I still...
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Some dude tried to catch Obama today, top to white.
That-
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Hey, that's
Oh.
news section.
Totally forgot about that.
News section.
Shh, just spoiler alert.
But yeah, Game Boy Advance SP, specifically the SP because it was smaller and easier to carry, but just Game Boy Advance in general because I still have, like, every time I get a phone, I always put a Game Boy Advance emulator on there and still play Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Okay,
Alright,
next.
console controller. For me, I put down the PS4 mainly because, well, I feel like it's kind of cheating because I haven't really used it for too long. Like I've pretty much demoed with it.
Yeah.
But
It does feel amazing.
it has good triggers, unlike the PS3 controller. It has the PS3 controller D-pad. It has like everything that you need. So PS4.
I'll say PS2. Because it has the analog buttons, and I'm not talking about, it's got like the pressure sensitive buttons. PS4 doesn't have that. They've got the pressure sensitive triggers, but the face buttons are no longer pressure sensitive because they wanted to reduce the latency because it's wireless.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember like playing Metal Gear Solid. I'd pull up gun and then I would just put it away when I was like, I don't need to shoot.
Kevin's is the Microsoft Sidewinder.
It actually is a Microsoft one. It's the Xbox 360 controller.
It's a good controller.
I have tried using the Xbox One controller, and I think the analog sticks are way too small.
The 360 controller, I think, is a lot better.
Yeah, and
The triggers feel a lot better, too.
yeah,
The Xbox One triggers are mushy.
Yeah, the 360 is an excellent controller. My only gripe with it is the D-pad is the worst thing.
It's
Yeah.
probably one of the worst D-pads.
Yeah.
well, see, that's the thing. I don't play fighting games or platformers that often, so
Well,
I
I mean,
don't
even-
rely on the D-pad that often.
Even games that use it as, like, a secondary or,
I
like
honestly
a
haven't
third
had
function.
too many issues with it, though.
Like,
Personally, I haven't.
I would play like Battlefield at my friend's house and like, okay, I'm gonna switch to something on the D-pad, and it's like I'm gonna pull I want to pull the rocket launcher out. I'm gonna pull the rocket launcher out, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna do something else because it thought I pushed up after that, and it's just like, thanks, thanks controller. I wanted to shoot this jet that was flying by.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to try a PS4 controller. I've held one, but I've never used it for.
Yeah,
Anything.
feeling one at like a kiosk for any controller doesn't really work well because it feels like heavy because it's like attached to a certain thing and you've got
Right.
like this big metal thing like clamped around it.
Yeah.
So like when I first like touched the Xbox One controller, I was like, what is happening in my
It touched
hands?
you
Like
back.
I was like, this is garbage,
Yeah.
When I actually held it in person, and I was like, okay, this is a lot more doable. But same for like the PS4. I was like, like this doesn't feel good. When I actually played, I was like playing Battlefield 4 with it, and I was like, this feels great.
Yeah.
Next category that was suggested by Kaylee. Our favorite weirdest / oddest game advertisement of all time.
I have an answer for this one.
My answer for the weirdest, if I want to remove the word weirdest / oddest, just favorite game advertisement of all time, it would be the Super Smash Brothers with you and me. They just start hitting
Start
each other.
whomping on each other.
But the weirdest, oddest game advertisement of all time that I can think of, is the The PS3 had a bunch of really good ones.
yeah,
The one with the baby.
The baby. That technically
Like-
that's not a game. It's a game console advertisement. But that was my answer.
Yeah.
Because it's like this creepy baby doll just starts crying, and
they
it's like,
had like multiple really weird advertisements. That was the weirdest one that I remember. I'm like, what is it? Is this supposed to sell me on something? I don't get it.
Like, I don't know why. Like, they must have had like a contract with the advertising company, because
Like a French advertising company?
so many terrible ads came out from them.
Yeah.
Like, there were some good PS3 ones at the time. Like, the guy would explain how the Blu-ray worked, and he was like, the Blu-ray, it's several times the capacity of a DVD.
They failed when they got rid of Kevin Butler.
Yeah, they did.
Kevin.
It's funny because mine's also a game console commercial. It's the Xbox 360 Bang commercial. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's where
Bang!
yeah, everyone's in a mall, and then like one guy just like, pulls up his hand, like makes a fake gun with his hand, and then everyone just kind of like drops everything that they're doing and goes into like this Mexican standoff or like with everyone in the entire mall, and it's really funny. I thought it was great. It's weird, but I loved it so much.
All right.
Moving on.
Next category: favorite game with a modding scene.
This one's a little difficult because there's so many good games.
Well,
Counter-Strike 1.6. That's my answer.
My answer for this, I got two answers. One would be Team Fortress 2, mainly for the maps. Like there's a lot of really cool maps, and Portal 2 also has a lot of really cool maps. So two Valve games for me.
I think Counter-Strike, I think has a greater significance because
I'm not into Counter-Strike though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just like they Counter-Strike modders like created all these like different game modes, like gun game mods, and
Counter-Strike is a mod.
well, yeah.
So is Portal.
It came from a mod. Come on. now.
Technically, I mean, the Team Fortress Classic was also a mod, and I mean, but
Kevin.
like, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of broad, but it's Elder Scrolls and Fallout. I kind of put them together because they're very similar as far as like how they function.
You need your waifu character models in there, don't you? It really is.
Yeah. Secondary option, or like my second choice, is Minecraft because it's come to the point now where I don't play Minecraft without mods. So it's a lot of good stuff out there that add just so much content to them for both Elder Scrolls and Fallout and Minecraft.
Next.
Favorite story-driven game, Ali.
The Last of Us. I mean, that's like I said, I wish I could forget that game so I could play it again and experience it.
For me, I mean, yeah, Last of Us would also be one of my favorites, but I think Walking Dead
Yeah, I know.
falls under my top favorite. Kevin.
For me, no surprise here, BioShock. It's my number one, but runner-ups are Walking Dead, Alan Wake, and Witcher 2.
Alan Wake is pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
So was Max Payne.
It's pain. Whack 'em. That's a
Game that had the prettiest art style, Kevin.
This one's a little difficult. I don't know. I can't pick a top, but I have a list here. They're not in any order.
MS Paint doesn't count.
Dang it. Prince of Persia from 2008.
That was a cool looking game.
Yeah. WildStar. I think they have a really cool, colorful art style. Mirror's Edge and Journey.
Dang it.
Oh, you're gonna say Journey?
Yeah. Journey.
You got Journey?
Yeah, that game was really beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I mean, people have like gifted that section, but like where like the sun sets, like the sun's coming down and it's like glowing, like it's shining
Super
off
orange.
the sand, and you just like
Yeah.
whoosh, just like surfing your way down the sand. It was
You can
so
see the
cool.
music.
Man, how was the music at that point?
The one I have, I really wanted to put down Journey, but instead,
Oh, God.
no, I last second I changed it. I put down the Unfinished Swan.
That was a really good art style. One thing that I was disappointed with is the farther you got into it, the more complete the art became, which kind of I thought.
It still looked cool.
Oh, it still looked
It
cool.
still looked
Yeah, I
really
mean,
cool.
there were like the moments of like where the art looked sketch and stuff as well, which I thought was cool. But I remember first playing. I really liked the solid color look to it.
I also liked how the gameplay changed as the visuals changed.
Yes,
It was
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I like when I got to, I think it was like a balcony or something, and you see just like that, just the maze, the labyrinth,
Mm-hmm.
and then the castle. Like I was like, Megan, come here, Megan, look at this, and she's like, what? And I was like, look at this, and she was like,
I don't care.
okay, because she wasn't watching me play it before, but.
I guess other games I would like to give honorable mentions to would be like Bastion, the Transistor. Those looked
Yeah, those are really cool.
amazing, and also Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Yeah,
Very
buddy.
pretty.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it was the art style.
I buy the Playboys for the articles.
I'm hilarious. Okay, favorite gaming topic on the podcast so far? Ali.
I wish I could hear the crickets outside the window right now.
Ali. Kevin.
What does it, you're gonna say anyone, Ali?
I'll think about it. Go.
For me, it was episode 49 is PC game dying, or PC gaming dying, because that was the first episode I was on,
And you were like, no, it's not.
I enjoyed talking about that topic.
For me, I think my favorite topics are game design specific or game design related topics. Some of them being like difficulty and challenge in games, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I really like those type of topics because we usually really get into them, and
Yeah.
they're just really fun topics.
I love technical topics.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk about game hardware, I could talk about game engines, I could talk about optimization, different techniques used for, lighting or whatever,
And then when you start
rendering.
talking about cars. Vroom.
Yes. But it's technical. Like you used to get mad at me because I'd start talking about specs and this and that, and you're like, no one cares,
No one cares, man.
and I'm like, I care.
No one cares. Taking too long. Okay, we're about an hour 40 in. Do you guys want to do a couple more?
Sure, we can
Or-
do a few more.
Mm.
We
Or-
still have game news, don't we?
Yeah, we still
Yeah,
Might as well
let's
just
go
go
through
straight-
game news.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So those are all of the categories that not all, but we skipped two. The
Yeah.
favorite indie game released this year and favorite AAA game released this year, because
I'm poor.
I haven't
don't-
really played that many games this year, and
This year's been a little disappointing so far.
Yeah.
As far, at least on the AAA side, there have been some decent indie games, but not many.
But I want to thank all the listeners and the show supporters who gave us your suggestions. It definitely made this a really fun topic. I enjoyed this topic. What did
Yeah,
you
that was
do?
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it definitely made the discussion a lot more fun since we are being told which categories to pick. I mean, pick our games for rather than us coming up with our own categories.
Yeah.
And then we got like dumb things like best strategy management game.
Was that one of Kevin's?
That's two of Kevin's.
Oh God, Kevin, please.
Hey now.
Kevin,
So,
please.
thank you, Samantha, Calvin, Kaylee, and Morgan for submitting.
And not Kevin.
Not Kevin.
I had some
Ke-
pretty
Ke-
good categories
Kevin,
there.
Kevin submitted some on the Facebook, and I was like, nope, you're not allowed.
And then Stoppa just deleted my comment, and we ended up putting them in there anyways. Although we didn't really talk about it.
All right, so let's get into gaming news. There, like as I mentioned before, there really wasn't that many news articles this week. So I guess this won't be a long segment. First one is that there has there even been a confirmation on this? It's just rumors
No,
still.
it's
Okay,
just,
the
yeah.
rumors of Microsoft looking into buying Mojang. Mojang, best known for Minecraft.
Only known for Minecraft.
Only known for Minecraft because all the other stuff is garbage. Well,
Do they-
one-hit wonder. Minecraft.
They don't have anything else, do they?
They got scrolls.
Scrolls.
The Scrolls come out?
Yeah, I don't know.
It didn't come. I thought it was still in development. How is it garbage if it's still in development?
Let's ask Google. Did
Okay, Google.
Scrolls
Let's just search
come
Scrolls Mojang and see if
out.
there's a release date for it. You have to ask a literal question.
So while he's looking that up,
Okay.
release
Release date. It did come out. It came out to 2013. Beta.
oh really? Wow. Oh,
Mm.
that's a beta. Okay.
Yeah, but still,
Anyway,
2013.
so
So, anyways, hold on. I got screen share. I got screen share the news. Let's bring this up. Let's get the screen share on the screen. Please give me the option. There we go. And we share. There we go. Minecraft reportedly looking to buy. Microsoft reportedly
Minecraft is
looking
important.
to buy Minecraft developer. So, basically, like the reports is that Notch, or what's his Marcus Persson,
Yep.
was the one who initiated these talks, and that it's estimated to be at least $2 billion, likely more, for the acquisition. And also, Notch says that if Microsoft buys Mojang, he is unlikely to stay with them. He will stay there for the transition, but other than that, he will.
he's gonna be making paper. That's why.
Yeah.
Just making it. All that money.
Yeah.
Prince money.
Well, he's also very, particular about like his work, and he doesn't like working with another publisher. He's been vocal about that. He likes.
But
to do
like
his
that
own
doesn't make
thing.
sense as to like.
Since he's well,
But like, okay, look.
no, it does make sense because he just wants the money.
Well, I mean, like as far as what Kevin's saying, as
Yeah.
far as he doesn't want to work with these restrictions and stuff, I'm saying that he's the one who initiated the talks.
Because he's
then-
had good experiences with Microsoft.
And then yeah, because he had good experience with Microsoft, but he's unlikely to stay with them. So that leans more towards what you're saying as far as he just wants to get the money and go home and swim in his Scrooge McDuck vault.
Yeah. I think that would be a really dumb acquisition.
Yeah.
Minecraft has sold like what 50-some million, like 53 million, I think, units right
Like-
now. It's released on every single platform that's not a Nintendo platform because Nintendo. I think it's hit its prime.
Yeah, everyone who wants to play Minecraft already got Minecraft.
And it's just like you spend $2 billion for a game that sold 53 million. That game's not likely going to sell much more. And the game already has, at least on PC, has mod support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Minecraft 2, it's just like I guess you could release it on other things, but
Plus, what is Microsoft going to do? Are they going to unrelease the PS3 and PS4 versions? They can't do that.
Yeah.
It already exists.
and Sony
So-
would help
so-
develop the PS Vita.
So they're
version.
not gonna like get any type of like
Exclusive, yeah.
like any type of benefit from it for being exclusive because it's already not exclusive. So it kind of
Well, maybe they're gonna release it on the new Sony platforms and make money off of them selling because they know PS4 is selling better.
That's the whole plan.
That's the whole
They
plan.
just want a little bit of the sales on PS4 side.
There you go.
that's really all I got on this.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You guys
don't.
have anything else to add?
Yep.
Not really.
No, or no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ollie, that I think this is a really dumb accusation.
It'd
That
probably
doesn't
be
make
the
any
dumbest,
sense.
I think.
It doesn't make any sense. If it was another like a third party company, like let's say Activision or EA or Ubisoft, I think it would make more sense for them because they would.
Because
Well,
they're
even then, it still doesn't because I don't like you said there's not going to be
No,
much.
'cause if,
Yeah, there's not
if
much
either
for-
one of them bought it, then you'd be seeing microtransactions everywhere. And I'm pretty sure that no one would want.
But I mean,
that
like
in
the reason why I
Minecraft.
mentioned that is because at least they'd be
They're not-
benefiting from the future sales of like all the platforms.
Yeah.
While Microsoft, they're already benefiting from the Microsoft sales, but if they acquire the company, then they're also going to be gaining the Sony sales as
The
well.
thing is, if there was a Minecraft 2, Mojang already has. They've developed for every platform already, so they've got the base code for every single platform they need to work on. So a publisher is not going to help with development. It's not going to help with publishing since they could just self-publish, and that it just means they'd get less cut of money.
Mhm.
So I don't see why. I mean, it doesn't make any sense in my opinion. Anyway,
But we are not Michael Pachters around here, so who
Yeah.
knows? Who
we
knows?
wonder
certainly
what
aren't
he
Michael
has.
Pachters because we'd be rich.
So
I wonder what he
anyways.
has to say about this. It'd be nice to see if he did a.
He'd start ranting about Nintendo.
They're
They're 10 years behind,
Yeah.
Anyway, going on.
By the way, I wanted to mention this in the beginning of the podcast, but I wanted to like not have any like negative Nintendo news articles this week, just because I wanted to keep this a more of a positive, 3-year anniversary, positive.
Gotta keep things zen in here.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know about the next article then.
So, well, that doesn't. The next one doesn't have anything to do with Nintendo themselves. But anyways, so this article right here shows how slow it was this week as far as news.
Well, I feel
So-
like there was a lot of news, but a lot of like not new news. It's like a lot of like new information that
Yeah.
people might have already gotten or something like that. So anyway,
So this article here, Hotline Miami is coming to Payday 2 later this month. So basically, there's going to be Hotline Miami themed DLC coming to Payday 2, which I like Hotline Miami. I think it is a really cool game. I really love the music. In fact, the music that they have in this trailer here, that was like really awesome music. I'm waiting for this DLC to come out just so that song is available because that was a really cool song.
Yeah.
But
it was actually made. It was actually co-developed with what is their company? What's the
Russia.
no? I was actually going to say Russia.
Russia.
Why doesn't it have? It doesn't list it. That's dumb.
But here's an image of like the crossover. Like Payday 2 is a game that I liked and hated at the same time because it was a fun
Should have
game.
talked about that in the games you love but hate.
No, I didn't love. I liked.
Oh,
I
okay.
liked but hated. And it wasn't my favorite game that I loved but hated. But it was definitely it was a fun game. Like the mechanics were solid. It just was like had a terrible upgrading system where you had to like unlock things just to buy things, and it was pretty much built like a free to play game. But Payday, I mean,
they don't have a release date for this, do they?
They just say
September
this-
30th.
Oh,
September, yeah, they say this month.
Okay,
Yeah, there it is, September 30th.
cool.
I think it's an interesting mashup.
It's kind of like a perfect one too.
The whole
'cause it
masks
goes-
thing
Yeah.
works out.
Well, the
I
mask
hope-
works out, but like
I hope they put more emphasis on Melee as well. That'd be cool.
Payday is more of a. I mean, Payday is robbing, while Hotline Miami is like hitman. Your massacre.
Should kill this guy. Okay.
Ring, 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 ring. Go kill this person. Oh, I guess so. Guess I'll do it.
Why is this woman in my bed?
All right. Pikachu-clad dude picked the wrong day to storm the White House lawn. So on September,
Is there a
I
right
was
day
about
to
say,
do it?
there
well,
should never
it was
be.
September 11th, which
Oh.
made it even worse. You know,
Yeah.
September 11th. So he jumped the fence, as you can see on this picture. If you're watching the video of this podcast, you can see I have a picture on screen where dude jumped the fence. Well, like it's after he jumped the fence. He's just strolling across the lawn while national security are aiming guns at him, and he has like it looks like a Pikachu shirt and a Pikachu hat, and he has a Pikachu in his arm,
It's like a stuffed
plush
animal.
Yeah, plush
Yeah.
Pikachu. And then they took him down. They probably slammed him.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't just like a.
Oh, what
get down.
They probably broke a few of his. Look, is that like his foot right there?
Good.
Yeah.
I
His
don't know what he
fault.
was thinking.
They twisted him around. This dude. All right, no,
He
here's.
wanted to catch an Obama man.
Oh man.
So, yeah, I mean, we mentioned this earlier on the
Sorry.
podcast, but
Spoiler.
I mean, there's not really much else to say
There's
about
not much to
this.
say.
Yeah.
It's just funny. So, Yog Venture backers get Sony Online Entertainment's Landmark for free. And Landmark, I had to look up what this even is. It is a part of, like, it's one game out of the EverQuest Next.
Oh.
And like EverQuest Next is like going to be several games, I guess.
Mhm.
Landmark is one of them, and so it's not that they get this game for free because Landmark is going to be a free-to-play game. they get beta access.
Wow.
So, like this, it just comes across to me like as another slap in the face to the people who back this up, and I'm pretty sure there's probably some of those backers who are like, yeah.
This makes up for everything.
Yogscast loves us.
I knew this was
Like,
going to be fishy from the start.
Yeah, I always thought it was a bad idea, and this article also makes up for the lack of negative Nintendo articles this week. Gotta have balance in
Yeah.
life. But I mean, like if Yogscast really wanted to do them right, you know, do their backers right, they should have like refunded them. Just straight up refunded them. Like their excuse of, oh, we already used up the money. Who cares? You guys make money in other ways. I'm sure you can do something to make up that money and refund them.
Yeah.
You know, you're just screwing them over. Oh, here are these other games. A beta for a free-to-play game.
We have breaking news, by the way.
Breaking news? What's the breaking
News.
Breaking Bad.
Douglas E. Smith, the creator of Lode Runner,
Oh, I know him.
he died.
I don't know him.
Have you ever played Lode Runner?
I think.
It's very like it's a DOS game. I remember playing that a lot actually. It was very fun. Yeah. I guess Tozia Games, who is the current licensor of Lode Runner, posted the message saying, "It was with great sadness that we learned today of the passing of our friend and colleague Douglas Smith, the creator of the iconic game Lode Runner. Our hearts and prayers are with Doug's family during this difficult time. In Doug's honor, we call on the legions of Lode Runner fans everywhere to take a private moment to reflect on your personal memories of Lode Runner. What a contribution Doug made to the video game industry. Doug, from all of us at Tozai and from all of your fans, may you rest in peace." That was negative.
That's
That was sad.
you just ruined the 3-year anniversary. you turned it from a happy moment to a sad moment. I hope you're happy.
You don't remember playing Lode Runner? You never played it? Did you
I
play
don't-
Lode
I
Runner?
don't know
I
if
did.
played it or
Yeah.
not. I'm not sure.
It's been a long
It
time.
was a 2D.
I know
I
what
guess-
Lode Runner is.
Okay.
I just don't know if I played it or not.
How do you not know?
I don't know. I think I played the Xbox Live Arcade re-release.
Did they have
The
one?
remake.
No, maybe they did. I
It
think that's
was a
right. I
really
think that's
bad-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did have one.
Anyways,
Okay.
we'll talk about Grand Theft Auto 5 now.
Yeah. Okay.
Release date.
Release dates have been confirmed.
Yep.
And,
Super happy. Super
So
excited.
on current gen console, I'm sorry, PS4 and Xbox One, it is November 18th. On PC, it is coming.
Which Kevin considers as Beta 2. Beta
No.
Stage 2.
Xbox 360 and PS3 were alpha.
Anyway, PC coming January 27th.
The actual release.
Release.
The stuff they mentioned, you could probably read it off since you have it up.
Okay, so
But the stuff they mentioned is actually really cool.
new
and
weapons, vehicles, and activities, additional wildlife, denser traffic, new
Foliage.
system, enhanced damage and weather effects, and much, much, much more.
Like they redid
Yeah.
a lot of things, and I mean,
I'm really
like,
excited.
Animals like actually have fur now. It's not just a texture. Like there's grass everywhere. Like in the wilderness, it's not just a flat texture.
Yeah.
And like even though some of the tricks they did to make the game work on the PS3 and 360, so even though they took some of that out, they made like the lights are dynamic now.
Yeah.
So if you like in Gran Turismo 5 on PS3 and 360, if you're flying around, you see like these like sprite lights, just preset lights on the street, and if you like start to get close enough, they'll LOD in the vehicles, but they don't match up with other lights. So like they actually have all that dynamic, and it should properly, if you see a light, you should be able to go to it, and that's like the light source.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean they seem to be putting a lot of work into this, and it's really exciting. And
Yeah.
We put in another article in here.
yes, I did put in. Well, it's not really an article. It was a.
New York Police Department results for August.
There's no Y in that. Stop it.
All right.
NPD. NPD is the it's the North American
New Police Department.
yes, new police department. It's the August results for the North American sales came back. PS4 came out for they were leading in sales for the 8th consecutive month with 190,000 sales, console sales. Xbox One came next with 160,000, Wii U at 59.7 thousand, and those other ones we don't really care about. Overall retail sales.
Hey, I thought I said no negative Nintendo articles.
No, I was talking about 360, PS3, and Wii.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so,
We're
okay.
not supposed to have any negative.
Anyway,
Nintendo.
overall retail sales.
We're being nice to Nintendo this week.
Overall retail sales are up 8% year over year, so it's actually improving. Hardware sales were up 116% year over year. And that makes sense because the consoles weren't out. The new consoles weren't out last year at this time. Well, the Wii U was, but software sales in general, I think this includes digital, was actually down 21%. So
Nintendo fans should be happy right now.
Why?
Because they're getting a game, Bayonetta 2, pretty soon. They're getting another game.
Watch Dogs is finally coming out for Wii U.
Yeah, Watch Dogs, and they're also getting Smash Bros. Next month. They're finally getting games. And also 3-year anniversary of How It Continues. So it's a great time. It's a
Nintendo
great
people
time to be a
should be
Nintendo
happy about
fan.
it.
Should be happy.
It's a
Is that a
great
continuous?
time to love Nintendo. Nintendo, my body is ready. So, anyways,
Reggie's body is Reggie.
Yeah.
so anyways, that's it for this week's episode.
Let's wrap
Let's wrap it up because we don't have any listener feedback this week. I mean, we did
I
have
mean,
we had like all the listener suggestions, but if you have any like feedback, any questions or comments that you want read or and answered on the show, write in to podcast@outofcontinues.com.
Or better yet, if you would like to answer some of the questions that we were asked.
Yeah.
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 If you want to disagree with Staffa about something, anything, just anything, please.
I disagree with Staffa. just
Because his face is funny. Dude, just that glance you gave me.
So, anyways,
Positive episode. Positive.
some shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Nathan Becker, also known as Ectogemia. That's ECTOGEMIA. You can find them at facebook.com/Ectogemia or soundcloud.com/Ectogemia. And check out his music, because if you are listening to the MP3 version of this podcast, you heard his you heard his music that was the theme song for Out of Continues at the beginning, and you'll also hear it again at the ending of this podcast. Also, I want to give a shout out to all of the supporters of the show who sent in their suggestions as far as the categories for the favorite games, who are Samantha, Calvin, Mark, Kaylee, and Morgan. Thank you, all of you, for participating and helping making this episode more special and fun for us to do this discussion and recording. I want to give a shout out to View Service for giving me the game on Steam minimum. I really appreciate it. It's a pretty cool game. I'm having fun with it. I'm gonna definitely play more of it. You guys should check it out. You guys check it out.
Yeah, it's only like $5 on
Yeah.
Steam. I might pay.
Yeah, this week it's $5. So by the time this podcast goes up on the MP3, it's probably gonna be too late.
Yeah.
But $5. I mean, you could buy a lot of worse things for $5. So
You could buy big rigs of the road racing for what would you buy it for? Like $3 or something?
it's like 15.
15.
Wow.
I don't know.
Menards sells games for $15.
I think so. And
What?
like if you try to buy it off eBay now, it's like 80.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Adam messed up by getting rid of the copy I gave him.
What a shame.
Yeah,
It would have been worth so much.
he thought it was a gag gift. What it actually was an investment.
$80 investment. Anyway.
Do you guys have any shout outs or plugs or anyone you want to say hi to on this 3-year anniversary?
I'd like to give a shout out to Out of Continues. Happy 3rd birthday.
Thank you.
Peace to Staffa.
Beast to Ali.
But I said peace.
Beast.
Peace.
Beast.
Okay.
Beast out.
So wait, we ended the episode?
Not yet.
Okay.
Thank you both of you guys. Kevin,
Yep, thank you.
Ali, I really appreciate you guys always supporting the show, helping out, taking time out of your day to come. And I also want to thank everyone else who has been on the show, who actually said stuff. Not to the people who come on here and just sit here like a big jerk, or other people who Skype in with me and start eating a candy bar in the middle
Hey.
of our discussion, and then starts moving his desk.
Huh.
Yes, eating a candy bar and then starts moving his desk around because he gets bored. Come on now, come on, you big jerk. But everyone else,
Everyone else.
who's been on the podcast,
There's not candy eating desk movers.
yeah, or farts. All the other guest hosts who's been on here. I don't want to start naming everybody because I'm afraid if I do, I'll probably forget a few names, and so that would like make them feel bad. So I'll just say everybody, you know, thanks to all of you who have been on the show. Thanks to all the listeners, all of you who, you know, download this MP3 or, you know, go to YouTube and watch the video. Thanks a lot for supporting the show. You guys are what drive me to keep doing this each week. You know, I've mentioned this before. This is a hobby of mine. It's not like I make money off this or anything.
You have
No.
not made a single dime off of this.
I made negative. I spent more money on this than I have
Yes.
made money. So, you know, you guys and you know, your emails or feedback or, you know, your interactions, you guys are what make this happen. You guys are what make this fun. So, you know, you're the ones who give me the incentive to keep doing this each week. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. And, you know, hopefully this keeps going for a while. You know, as long as I have the time and to do this. You know.
Yep.
If you enjoy what you've been hearing, support us by liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review, or you can contact by email. That is podcast@continues.com. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/outofcontinues. All of these can be found on the website, www.outofcontinues.com. All those links are on the right side, currently on the right side of the page. There's even a link to my portfolio and another link to Beware the Bully. Bam! Best anti-bullying game made by an Iraqi.
I'm pretty sure it's
That was very specific.
Don't forget to check out my Portal 2 levels. Those will be up too. You can give me a tweet. I'm at Sayed Stafa. That's SAYEDSTAFA. Kevin over here is
at KS Trehan. That's KSTREHAN.
Ali is
Phosphor 112. That is PHOSPHOR112.
but I'm the important one, so tweet at me instead of these two. No one does anyways. I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today, the great Kali.
Thank you, Stava.
Kevin.
I didn't respond to
No,
that.
Ali
for a
was just
reason.
like,
Yeah, I was just like, no.
Ali.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I was looking
And
for.
with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. Peace out, everybody.
Beast out for 3 years.
wait,
So,
you're teasing out for 3 years? 3-year break?
No.
That's a hiatus, man. That is
We've been beasting out for 3 years.
not us.
Yes, we have.
No.
Beast.
Yep. And yeah. No.